Did you know one of the greatest athletes in history gave up everything to stand for his identity, his beliefs, and his faith? Origin and accomplishments. Muhammad Ali was born in Louisville, Kentucky, and became one of the greatest boxers of all time. An Olympic gold medalist and multiple-time world heavyweight champion, his skill, confidence, and presence changed sports forever. He famously said, "I am the greatest," but his life would later show that greatness is not just something you say, it's something you live. Reality of the time. During Ali's rise, America was still dealing with deep racial inequality. Black athletes were often celebrated for their talent, but not always respected beyond entertainment. They could perform, but their voices were not always welcomed. Ali refused to accept that role. Identity and name. Born Cassius Clay, he made a powerful decision to change his name to Muhammad Ali. He rejected a name tied to a past he no longer identified with, and embraced a name that reflected his faith, identity, and purpose. It was more than a name change, it was a statement that his identity would not be defined by others, but by what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had guided him toward. Faith and principle. Ali stood proudly as a black Muslim man, holding firmly to his beliefs. And while he called himself the greatest, he also made it clear through his faith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the greatest. That balance showed the kind of man he truly was. The stand. When called to serve in the Vietnam War, Ali refused. He chose not to take part in a conflict that did not align with his beliefs. For that decision, he was stripped of his titles, banned from boxing, and heavily criticized. The same people who once celebrated him now turned against him. Legacy beyond the ring. But Ali's legacy went far beyond boxing. He became a global symbol of courage, identity, and standing for what is right. He inspired generations and showed that your voice can matter just as much as your talent. Even later in life, as he faced personal challenges, he remained a symbol of patience, strength, and dignity. Passing and final legacy. When Muhammad Ali passed away, rahimahullah, he left behind a legacy that reached far beyond sports. He is remembered not only as a champion in the ring, but as a man who stood firm in his faith, identity, and principles. If you made it to the end, comment truth. What stood out to you the most about his story? His story reminds us that true greatness is not just about power, but about standing firm in who you are. Follow, like, comment, and share to help uncover more stories that deserve to be remembered.